My name's Andrew Fitzgerald. I'm a YoungArts alum in cinematic arts. I'm also a writer, and I happen to work at Twitter, and I tweet at @MagicAndrew. Twitter offers artists an opportunity to engage in real time with fans or people that they would like to be fans and hear their feedback. One advantage to really investing in your identity on Twitter is that it can become a sort of online business card for you. If it becomes a place that people know that they can find you, you can say, share your email on your Twitter bio, and people who are interested in purchasing your work or hiring you to perform, they can find your email right there. So another valuable thing on Twitter is that you can connect with people who are in the industry that you're working in. So if you're a musician, A&Rs are on Twitter. If you're a writer, agents are on Twitter. It's a good place to follow them, see what they're talking about, what they're interested in, to engage with them even, to begin to have conversations with people who represent the industry side of the work that you're doing. On Twitter, you can be inspired by the world. You can be inspired by other artists, and importantly, Twitter can help you be inspired by the feedback that you're receiving from your audience. One of the greatest benefits to Twitter is that you can be connected with literally anybody around the world at any time. If you're a visual artist, for example, you can share your work along stages of the process with the world on Twitter very simply, just adding a photo to Twitter and tweeting it out. And then people can respond. You have a mentor or an icon or an idol that you just think is the absolute best in your field. Follow them on Twitter and you could connect with them too. First and foremost, use hashtags in your tweets to make sure that you're reaching out to a larger conversation, not just the conversation being had by your followers, but also people who are talking about that hashtag. In addition to using hashtags on Twitter, it's very important to use @handles. @handles are a signal to the person that you're mentioning that you mentioned them. So why would you do this? Why is this important? Well, if you mention someone or you mention, say, a venue that you'll be exhibiting at or performing at, you give them an opportunity to reshare your message. Every musical venue that you might go play at has a whole bunch of people who are interested in the music that is coming through that venue. So by @mentioning them in your tweets, you give them an opportunity to tell all of their followers who might not follow you that you're performing. When appropriate, include photos or visual information in your tweets. Because photos that you upload to Twitter are pre-expanded in the home timeline, it's a great way to capture somebody's eye when you're trying to share something. The most important thing to do is be yourself. Be authentic. You are a person who is interested in the work that you are creating. You're interested in a field of art around the work that you are creating. Have conversations about that stuff. And when you talk to people about the things that you would talk to them about in real life. You would not walk up to somebody in real life and be like, hey, follow me around all day. But you would walk up to somebody in real life and be like, hey, I noticed you're interested in photography. I'm also interested in photography. And by the way, I have a show tonight. But in the same way that you wouldn't walk up to every single person at a party and just yell at them about your show, you would want to have a conversation first. It is important as an artist to manage your time on Twitter. Obviously, you don't want to spend all day on Twitter. You want to spend most of your day creating your art. But it is enormously valuable to put aside a little bit of time every day to interact with the community that is growing around your art. You want to make sure that people know you're accessible. That's part of the magic of Twitter, is that anyone around the world can reach out to anyone else and potentially have a conversation. And the reward of that conversation actually happening is something very powerful. So the team that I work on at Twitter is called the media team, and we have representatives who work with high-profile users across a whole variety of disciplines: music, news, government and politics, television, film. But we also take all of the learnings that we have around how to use Twitter successfully as a musician, as an artist, as a politician, and we share that information on a website called media.twitter.com, which is a fantastic resource for anybody who is trying to figure out the right ways to connect with and engage with an audience. Creativity on Twitter extends beyond just the experimenting with content or storytelling or sharing your work on Twitter. Twitter is also a great place to experiment with how to engage your fans around buying your work or supporting your work financially. And one of the absolute best examples of this on Twitter has been Amanda Palmer, who has used Twitter so successfully as a platform to fundraise around works that she's doing, projects that she's engaged in. Amanda Palmer did a flash sale on Twitter in which she was selling t-shirts to her incredibly engaged community and made about $19,000 all within a single day. If you've never even been on Twitter, I have to say it's an absolutely fascinating place. There are over 270 million accounts around the world who are talking about millions of different things in dozens of different languages. And for an artist, it's an incredible opportunity to join Twitter, build a community, build a fan base, engage with those people in real time, but also engage with an industry and engage with people that could be mentors or advisors to you.